Hey guys, Jason here, Samco Workshop. Today we're going to be talking about why I hopefully have a deal going. I put a deposit in on a 2023 Colorado ZR2. This is, you guys watch my channel, I'm a big mid-sized truck freak, and you knew I was thinking about doing something. And I made the decision a couple of days ago to put in a deposit on one of these. I worked a deal, got it out. It's going pretty good. If it holds, it will be a phenomenal deal. We will see. The truck is in transit right now. I have a $1,000 deposit on it that is refundable. If they hold to the numbers that we discussed and we talked about, when the deal goes through correctly, not only will I save a ton of money on it, but it'll be a legit deal and I'll be excited and then we'll pick it up. But that is the plan. But why did I decide to put a deposit on and go with why go with the 2023? With 2024 is going to start production in a month. But why even do this truck? So let's talk about it here. These are my reasons. If you don't want to watch any more of the video because I'm wasting your time, feel free to screenshot it, look at it. You can read it at your own leisure later on while you're sitting in the bathroom and walk away from it. That is your choice. If you want explanations on these, happy to do it. We're going to cover it right now for you. And I don't say that like in a bad way. I say that honestly. I know your time is very valuable and precious to everybody. And literally, if you don't want to watch this, screenshot it and you have my answers and you can take them for the short little notes they are right there. But we are going to break it down here for you if you want to continue on. Now, first off, the motor is a proven motor. And people are like, well, it's brand new. It's not brand new though. This motor's been out since 2019. It's going into its 5th year coming up here in a minute. It's going on its 5th year in production. It's been used in Silverado trucks, which is important because not only has it been a motor that's been out and been used, it's also been used in a truck application. Okay, that's a big one for me. That's a huge one. Just because certain motors have been used in other cars and then they carried over to a truck is not used like a car, especially in my world. And the amount of time you spend off-road, you will be in the boost tremendously. You're going to use it a way a truck is going to be. I want that motor proven in a truck platform. This one is proven in a truck platform. So, because it's an i4 turbo, all the trucks are going to i4 turbos for midsize. Well, this one is proven. That means something to me, and I've watched every video on how it was built, what it's been through, the pros and cons, and how it started off, the hiccups it ran into, how they corrected them. I am very excited about this motor. Okay, I'm very excited about the motor. And I'm very excited with what GM has done comparatively. Everybody has their opinion on what's good and bad. People already tell me, you're an idiot for leaving Toyota and going to Chevy. You can say whatever you want to, okay? But I pay attention to all of this stuff. Mine is not just based on my own opinions and my own stuff, which if that were true, Toyota would be the worst truck that I've owned, technically speaking, because my Toyota has been in the shop more times than any other vehicle I've owned, okay? Let that sink in for a minute. Now, I love my Toyota. It's a fantastic truck. My Tacoma's been amazing, and I'm not taking anything away from it, but we have to go by stats and things like that. And if you're being honest with you, if we're talking honesty, my Toyota is actually the worst reliable one I've owned based on the times it's been in the shop. But, again, take that with a grain of salt. Just saying, I'm excited for Chevy. I am excited for where GM is going with what they're doing. Ford, in my opinion, who's taking, again, somebody who's owned 20 Ford vehicles, their quality has been going down. They have had more recalls, more problems, more anything, blah, blah, blah. Toyota, the Tundra was a complete bomb when it came out. Major problems with that, all kinds of hiccups. They still can't get the thing to keep it from rattling. All sorts of problems with little stuff, but they'll get it sorted. Toyota's a good company. Okay, Ford will probably bounce back and recover. Ford outsources a tremendous amount of work to other people, and those are the ones that are causing them problems. But either way, it's your vehicle that's a problem. So, in my opinion, they're all equal. Okay, GM, Ford, Ram, and Toyota are all on the same level playing field as far as times you're going to have to work on it, quality, maintenance, quality control, all that. In my opinion, they're about the same. So whether you agree with that or not is completely up to you. That is your choice. This is my choice, my opinion, and this is it. There is no facts to back this up one way or the other. You could give me a list of facts on why this one's better, and I'll turn around and give you a list of facts on why you're wrong and this one isn't. So, and you could do the same to me. So just understand that. For me, that motor is proven. It is the only 2024, now I'm buying a 2023, but really it's technically a 2024. We'll talk about that. But in 2024, it is the only motor that is still proven that puts out this kind of power. Now Ford has got the 2.3, I think it is, in the Ranger, which is coming back, and it's a great motor as well too. But I'm excited about this. I have faith in this motor. I do not have faith in the new Tacoma motor. It will probably eventually be good, but I don't trust it yet. We get 3 inches of lift with this thing from the factory, like the Trail Boss, which was also my second opinion. Realistically, if the Trail Boss came with a actual electronic rear locker and they improved their off-road terrain mode where it had better algorithmically controlled front wheel brake LSD, limited slip differential capabilities, then I probably would have went with that. But for what I am doing, the G80 locker doesn't work for me. Now, it will work for 90% of what most people do. Me, in the sand and in the mud, the G80 has to spin too many times to get it to lunge forward and kick in. What happens is that G80 is digging a hole, and then when it does catch, it catches so abruptly, the other ones just break free and dig. I need slow, steady, and sweet to get out of some of these places I get into. But the Trail Boss is, God, the Trail Boss is such a great truck for the money. It really is such a great truck for the money. But I need, this comes with a 3-inch lift, 10.7 inches of ground clearance. You can't argue that. And as a little side note, price-wise, I got this thing for very similar to what somebody would pay for a equally equipped Trail Boss. So I'm real happy with that. Best off-road angles. Okay, it's the angles on this, the approach angle, departure angle, breakover angles. They're incredible. This truck is designed to be amazing off-road, and all the angles match that, plus the 10.7 inches of ground clearance. The Multimatic DSSV, these spool valve shocks, they're incredible. Okay, they really are. Now, there's a lot of great shocks out there, like the Fox 2.5s and stuff. There's good shocks out there. But these DSSVs, if you never drove on them or know what they are, the way the spool valve works, and I'll do another video sometime on that and show you, but just understand that they are the perfect blend of on-road, off-road, high bump, high speed. They don't fade. They're just, it's an incredible shock system. Now, when they came out, you know, the Colorado ZR2 was the first time Multimatic ever built an off-road shock. When they put it out there in like 2019, they had a couple hiccups, had a few failures that they had to change some seals out because they were leaking, things like that. Now, they are rock solid and proven. Again, New Year hiccups back in 2019. Now they're on fire and they're incredible. The shock location. Okay, and I'm showing you pictures of this, but the shock location on a ZR2 versus shock location on the Trail Boss or any other these vehicles, or the Ranger, or the Tacoma, or any of these. I don't know if the Tacoma's in or out now. We'll check. But the shock location on a ZR2 is exactly what we want, what I need for going over stumps and over rocks and things like that, or even just the ruts that are on a lot of the places I go to. I want those shocks outboard of the frame or as tight to the wheel as possible, and the ZR2 gives us that. The other ones do not. The articulation gain is huge. Okay, now what are we talking about when I say the articulation gain here? Is because Ford and Chevy both did this, but when they made this vehicle wider from the last generation, Ford and Chevy took the control arms and extended them, took them from here and extended them out further, 3 inches, 1.5 inches on each side, which allows for more articulation of that wheel and more suspension travel. Toyota also made 3 inches wider, but all they did was offset the rim. Okay, so they didn't gain anything. They did it the cheap way. That bothered me about Toyota. ZR2 does it right. So does the Trail Boss. Okay, but I love that articulation gain in there. And if you haven't watched, go look at some flex videos on the Trail Boss even, or the ZR2. It's only rivaled by a Jeep, okay? By a Gladiator or an actual Jeep Wrangler, because that's got a solid front axle. Only thing that comes close to the articulation that you get on that. Why is that important? Because when you are up and you are in holes and you are doing things, your wheels need to be able to touch the ground to give traction. And when you are up and out, if this wheel can't get to the ground, because the suspension won't let it, it just spins. By letting that flex and get down or lower, you get traction. Traction comes from articulation in cattywampus type environments, okay? And the ZR2 and the Trail Boss, they got it. They got it in spades. They did phenomenal on that. It is also the only truck out there in the midsize category. Well, let me take that back. Because a lot of the stuff I say, the Jeep, Gladiator, Rubicon will meet or beat this off-road. Now, the problem and the reason I don't include that one is the Jeep Gladiator is a Jeep in its sense. And not a lot of people like the way they ride down the road and how they wander. The Jeep wander that's with them because of that solid front axle. I don't think they're as comfortable for high miles. And they're a lot louder inside. So there's some downsides to a Gladiator. Yet the Gladiator is awesome. I've drove many of them, almost bought two, and they are phenomenal. Okay, so I'm not taking anything away from that, but I'm pulling it out of the mix because the Gladiator is here as a specialty off-road vehicle with some on-road manners, where here we have the Chevy or the GM Colorado Canyon, and we have the Ford Ranger, and we have the Toyota Tacoma, and you have the Nissan Frontier. Okay, they're here. That Gladiator is over here. It's not really in this category, but when I say that, the Gladiator does have front and rear lockers on the Rubicon model. Okay, this truck, other than that Gladiator, is the only one. Not the Ranger Raptor doesn't either. It uses a Torsen kind of clutch-style brake lock type. It's a good system, but it's not a true locker. Now, a nice thing is it's always on and rolling with you, which is a good thing too. But the ZR2 is the only truck out there in the midsize category that has both a front and rear locker. Okay, that for me is huge. That's tremendous right there. I also, from the factory, get factory rock rails. Okay, now I have not been able to get underneath to see if they are frame mounted or frame mounted and body panel mounted. I don't know yet, but either way, they are going to provide tremendous protection to the rocker panels of that. I like that a lot. And like I said, it is the most capable off-road truck other than that Rubicon Gladiator. Okay, there is no more capable off-road truck for what I need. I can't get, a Power Wagon is also super capable, but I can't fit a Power Wagon into places I go. See what I'm getting at? There are restrictions to certain things. Even a Silverado ZR2 won't go a lot of the places I go. Be able to turn around in there, be able to work those little tight roads up there in the mountains and stuff. A lot of places you can't get some of these. So for me, it is by far the most capable truck for what I need. Okay, there's places this will go that no other truck can go. Plain and simple. I love that. Comes standard from the factory with 33-inch LT, light truck, MT, mud terrain tires. So I don't have to change the tires. If you guys follow my other channel, you know that every time I buy a truck, the first thing to go are the stock passenger tires, and I immediately put light truck tires on them. Why? Because they're more ply, they're more heavy duty, they hold up better, less flats, they're just a lot more durable, and they're a better tire. The mud terrain is a nice feature for me down here where I live at now. So I get those straight from the factory right off the bat. Hopefully they last to 55, 60,000 miles I'm going to put on this truck before I dump it, before I trade it off. I'm hoping they do, but we're getting that from the factory. That saves thousands of dollars that I don't have to invest to put new tires on it. I also have the skid plates coming straight from the factory. You guys know on my Tacoma, I spent $780 to put that full steel skid plate underneath there. It has paid for itself already 3 times over, I promise you. So it was a good thing. Here I'm getting them for free. Okay, resale value. Resale on this thing is going to be very good. Why? Because I checked it. I know what the resale value is on a 22, on a 21, on a 2020. I understand what they are out there. I check every vehicle out there and know what they are. Okay, I pay attention to that stuff, so I know the resale value on this is rock solid, and I know what I bought it for, which is rock solid, and I know what I can get when I get rid of it in 18 months, rock solid. It comes factory equipment on this thing is very nice. We are getting right from the factory bed liner. We are getting the amazing, the huge 11.3-inch infotainment center. We got the awesome gauge cluster in there with all the different features, and you can set it up to like so much crap I don't even understand half of it, but you got that. And you got the very nice plush interior, the very nice good-looking interiors in there as well too, which is really good. So I get a lot of factory equipment and a trailer hitch and a trailer brake. I did not add those, but those should be here. The trailer hitch and trailer brake controller are already included in this, where like on the Trail Boss, those are an option that you have to pay extra for. So it's only like $400 or something, but still it's an option. Here it's included. The looks. It's a sexy truck. It's the sexiest looking mid-size truck out there, in my opinion. Actually, it's the sexiest truck of every truck out there when you look at the size ratio to the wheels to everything, in my opinion. That's all opinion based, but I love the look of it. The price. Price is phenomenal on this truck. When you compare it to whatever Toyota TRD Pro or the TRD Trail Hunter that's coming out is going to be, when you compare it to the price of a Raptor Ranger, when you compare it to any of those things, which none of them can stack up to what I get with this truck, my price is thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars less. Minimum of 10 grand less than what you're going to pay for any one of them. Minimum of 10 grand less. So I love the price. I love the way it is. I also love the fact that the power is here. It's got tremendous power, tremendous torque, and it does not have to have a hybrid to meet those numbers, okay? I don't have to have that battery induce that to give me that power. The power's raw. I know it's a turbo, and I'd rather have a naturally aspirated V6, but the motor's proven. I'm excited about it. I'm happy with it. For what I need, it's going to work good, and I don't got to deal with that stupid hybrid, in my opinion. So for me, that's flawless. Now, also, why am I getting a 2023 versus waiting a month for the 2024? Because again, I do a ton of research. Okay, this is what I do. I pay attention to everything, and I can tell you, I know right now that the 2023 is exactly the same as the 2024 for the ZR2. Might change a little for the Colorado, or for the Trail Boss, or any of that kind of stuff. Like now I know the Trail Boss will get the option of the big 11.3 screen if you want to pay for it. Didn't get that option last year, so they might have some changes. But the ZR2 just went into production like 2 months ago. Okay, they're just now hitting the dealership lots, things like that, and they're just now coming out. So they're not retooling or changing anything. The 2023 will be 100% identical to the 2024, but when the 2024 comes out, it might go up $1,500, $2,000 more MSRP. I wanted to beat that, so by me getting this, I have that savings coming automatically. So it was kind of a major win-win for me to find a 2023 since it's identical to the 2024. So those are my reasons behind it. That's why I ended up doing this. I found one that was in allocation. Actually, I found 31 of them throughout the entire country here that were coming in, and started checking. Well, fortunately, it was right here in Georgia, only like 3.5 hours away from me. But and I wanted white, because of the fact that, again, I am off-road all the time. White does not show many scratches. I've always had silver for the same reason. I've had so much silver, I don't want silver no more. You need a light color. I'm down here in Georgia. The heat, I want it light in color, and I want something that's not going to show a lot of scratches. The white fit the bill perfectly. I found one. I started talking to them. I worked the deal. We are way below. We're getting a very good deal on it. I'm not giving out much more information until this deal is done and I have it in my hands and it's all signed. But it's just know that we're doing very, very well on this. Like I said, for the price of what most people will pay for a Trail Boss, that's medium, medium amount of options in a Trail Boss, we're getting this. Now I am going with the. I am only going to get the. I want the cloth seat, so we're going cloth. Okay, so that's pretty, you're saving money in the leather. I also, no extra cameras, okay? The under camera on that looks under the front, looks under the back on the underside. I don't care about that at all. The camera that shows, so when you back your trailer up here, I don't care about that either. The under cameras, they may work, and they got the cute little button where you can wash them and stuff for dust when you get them a little dirty on when you're out in Rubicon Trail or something, but I'm in mud. I'm in mud all the time. No amount of squirting a little squirty is going to clean that off. So that camera will be covered nonstop with mud, so those were no big deal to me. I didn't care about them. And when it comes to backing up a trailer, I'll do it myself. I'm pretty good at it. So owning a lot of RVs, boats, all kinds of things. I don't need it. I would never use a backup trailering camera that shows me the sides of it. I'm not using that anyway. I'm looking in my mirrors the way you're supposed to. I don't look at that. So so the camera stuff didn't matter to me. So mine is closer to, not quite as it comes at the base model. It's got a couple little upgrades, but not much to it. And we're getting it for a tremendous deal. So that kind of covers why I bought this and what's going on with it. So hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.